Well, first off, I gotta say, rest in peace, my cousin Stanley, out in New Jersey. That was my mother's sister's son, my first cousin Stanley. I wasn't close with him, but whenever I hung out with him, whenever I seen him, I had a lot of fun. He was funny. He was funny as heck, man. And sorry to say he's gone now. So God bless him. Rest in peace, my cousin. And I hope his family is well. They're gonna not be okay, but I wish everybody the best. Anyway, getting back to one video that I wanted to do to tell you guys how far we used to walk from right here. If you could see the mouse right here where it's circling, it's where I used to live, about approximately right on Huxley Street. We used to walk from here. This is approximate, and then we went up Hook Creek Boulevard to Rosedale Lanes, and it's close to 5 miles. I used to walk with a bowling ball, and we'd also walk back a lot of times. And my mom was a taxi cab. No other mothers would want to pick us up. Johnny Tomato's mom wouldn't pick us up. I think she might have picked us up once, but my mom was basically the taxi cab, and if we couldn't get her, we'd walk back. But we'd have fun on the way back. You know, we'd stop on the way to the liquor stores, or delis as they call them, buy us a quart of Miller beer. And, we was able to buy it back then because we didn't look young. I mean, drinking age was 18, so a lot of liquor stores sold us the beer. We didn't have any issues with IDs back then. They weren't as strict as they are today. So anyway, that's there you go. 1.9, 1.6, and 1.7. So it's close to 5 miles. And then walking back. So that's a nice trip. Now, let me tell you another one. I'll tell you, this is good too. So stand by. I'm going to put this on pause, and then I'm going to figure out how far this was. Me and my cousin Mark used to walk from Huxley Street near Brookville Park all the way to JFK. And we walked through the swamp where the landing lights were from 22 left, where that Eastern Airlines airplane crashed in the early 70s or mid 70s. So stand by, and that was a long walk too, but we didn't have no problem doing it, so stand by. Well, guys, I'm back. I can't really find the mileage here, but let me tell you what me and Mark did. From Huxley Street, which was right here, if you could see my mouse circling, we used to walk along Brookville Road, past my grandmother Mitra's house, and we used to walk right here. We used to go through the swamp on low tide, and how many times we almost got caught by high tide. Mark can confirm this. We used to do this a lot. And then we'd walk through the swamp. We had a tough time getting through the swamp sometimes. And you know what? We could have very well sunk in quicksand, or but we were kids. We didn't know any better. We thought we were cool, and we thought we were invincible, but we had a lot of blast. We used to call it the Taylor and Taylor expedition, and the water would be coming up, and we knew high tide was coming, so sometimes we'd have to really get out of there, go back, or we'd have to go forward because the water from Jamaica Bay was coming in pretty fast. So we'd walk along this path here and get to the landing lights. And then once you got to the landing lights, it was all concrete. And then we walk along Brookville Boulevard. And we'd watch the planes for a little bit, either on runway 22 left. Yeah, this is runway, right here is runway 22 right. And this is runway 22 left. Okay, right here. And then we used to get in the airport. The roads have changed drastically. We used to get in the airport somewhere around here through the cargo section. And then we'd get through the cargo section, and we were allowed. Sometimes we went in areas we wasn't supposed to, but nobody bothered us. And then we finally got to the terminals, and me and Mark would walk through the terminals and have a blast. We'd go in the TWA terminal. I don't even see it here. Let's see if I could find it. I know it's still there because they made it into a hotel. Well, we're not worried about that. But anyway, I'm assuming that was at least 7 or 8 miles one way. and we'd walk back. And we didn't have no problem walking 7 or 8 miles. It just flew by. You know, it just went by because we were having so much fun. And at that time, there was no security at the gates. And me and Mark actually went on the on-ramp, not on the tarmac, not outside, but down the loading hallway. And there was a 727. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, it was a 727 because it had 3 engines. I remember seeing the cockpit. And we actually went on the plane and looked in the cockpit. And there was no security at all. Nobody was there. But that's how different times were back then. You can actually, if you wanted to, we could have sat in the cockpit, and I don't think anybody would have bothered us. You know, because nobody seen us go in the plane. Nobody bothered us. And we didn't stay long. We just walked in. We took a glance. We looked around, and we walked right out. We didn't do no damage or anything like that. And nobody walk around the airport and have a good time. So me and my cousin Mark had a blast back then, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm just letting you guys know how much walking we did. And like I said, the previous video, that's why we stood in shape. And I'll bet you any amount of money the mileage from where I used to live on 219th Street in Springfield Gardens, near the Sunshine Oil Company, not far from Springfield Boulevard, walking all the way to Merrick Road to see Ronnie, that had to be at least 5 or 6, maybe 7 miles too. So those are the amount of miles we walked that day, and it did not faze us one bit. So, okay guys, just doing another video, and again, rest in peace my cousin Stanley. That's all I could really say. And I did hit that first football game. I need Pittsburgh to win now. Hopefully they do win. That was a scary game with Baltimore. I was given 19.5 points, and I did not think I was going to win that game. So I turned it off for a few minutes. I turned it back on, and it was 35-10. So I said, well, now we got to keep Cleveland from scoring. And they were on the 26-yard line of Baltimore, and luckily Baltimore held them. And then Cleveland just kneeled. They knew they wasn't going to do anything. Okay, guys, take care. Another video to come tomorrow, maybe. If not, it'll be Monday morning when I leave. Bye-bye.